Can Rants number 4. Finally, I know. I was on Minox Nest a couple days ago, and they're like, "Dude, you need to make a Can Rants number 4." Our last Google Star Wars reviews, Google Hangout. Dude, you need to make another Can Rants. So here I am. This was going to be done yesterday, but if you follow me on any of my social media that's linked to my YouTube channel, you know that I changed up my whole media setup in hopes to have a better view, so that way if I'm editing something and I'm like, ooh, I need to stop looking at the computer screen, I have my monitor's right next to my window, so I can look out at the view of the canyon that I live on. So yeah, I like that, but we're getting to the topic. Now, I said I was going to do a certain Can Rants on Why We Love the EU podcast with Django Fett, and that's not what's going to be talked about today. That's coming up, but this took precedence. The new Fantastic Four movie, its trailer came out today. It looks terrible. In the sense that it's bland as fuck. It looks like every other fucking superhero movie. But it got me thinking. You know, Fantastic Four is getting all this hatred immediately. Because one, the choices they made with Doctor Doom being like an angry blogger, recasting it twice, and it's just bad choices. And recently the Fantastic Four suits look fucking awful, and I will agree, they look like wetsuits. They don't look like the classic suits that I personally like. But, you know, I'm not a big Fantastic Four fan. In fact, the one I really like is the one that's never been released legally, and that'd be the Roger Corman one, because it doesn't try to be a good movie. It is a charming, low-budget Roger Corman superhero film, and I would recommend it. It's hard to find, but I think there's an upload of at least one upload of it on YouTube still, so you can check it out there for free. It was a movie literally made so that someone could have the rights to Fantastic Four. Which I'm not going to get into the whole Marvel Studios does not own Fantastic Four thing. That's a whole nother video. But I will say this. Why is this movie getting all the hatred and everyone's hyping up the bland Jurassic World, Terminator Genesis with Genesis spelled wrong, and Star Wars 7? I understand Star Wars 7 because no one thought that was going to fucking happen, but I knew they couldn't leave well enough alone with Terminator. I mean, they've done it. This would be the third time they've done this. And they haven't left well enough alone with Jurassic Park. Third time doing this. So why are these not getting hatred? And they're getting hyped up. But Fantastic Four gets hatred. Fantastic Four's trailer, although I said it was awful and bland, Jurassic World was fucking stupid, with it ending with the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord, riding on a motorcycle with velociraptors. Literally the dumbest thing I have seen this year, except for Boyhood probably winning Best Picture of the Year. This is the dumbest thing yet. Terminator Genesis, we have yet another guy as John Connor. Old Arnold Schwarzenegger, because he's an old Terminator for some reason, with Khaleesi from Game of Thrones running around as Sarah Connor. Apparently they're rewriting the history of the first movie, you know, my personal favorite. Although it may not be the best, with Terminator 2 being the best, Terminator 1's my favorite. They're rewriting that, and Arnold's fighting a CG Arnold that actually looks worse than the CG Arnold from Terminator Salvation, the last one. Because they couldn't have real Arnold in there because he was the governor of California. I mean, it's like, because Arnold's, like, acting again, they have to make another Terminator movie. It's like, I don't even want this. I don't think anyone wanted Terminator Genesis. I don't think anyone wanted Terminator Salvation either, but we had that. We had Michael Bay's production, their take on the Terminator future with Christian Bale, which had no plot and no one remembers it except for the CG Arnold at the end running around naked, but the Austin Powers block him. They block his junk and stuff. And it's... I don't know why they keep making these movies. Well, besides money. I think I should rephrase it. I don't understand why people insist on going to these fucking sequels when they know that they're shit. I think we all know that Terminator Genesis is going to be a piece of shit. But they're going to do it. Everyone's going to go, they're going to stuff popcorn in their mouths and they're going to watch it because it's Terminator. So how does Fantastic Four, which is a remake, granted, is it because it's a remake? Because there's talk of Poltergeist remake this year. I don't know if that's true or not because I didn't look into it before making this video, which I should have. But is that getting shit too? What's wrong? What's the difference? I get remakes are awful a lot of the time. I've seen very few remakes that are either on par or top the original. And this would be the third time Fantastic Four is being remade. Well, rebooted, so to speak, because you can't remake a comic book movie, apparently, if it's like a main superhero. It's called a reboot. They're doing it with Batman. They've done it with, again, they're doing it with Superman. Well, they just did it with Superman with that awful piece of shit, Man of Steel. You remember that with the movie where it felt like Memento, directed by Zack Snyder? So it was 300 Memento? Ugh. Ooh. Ugh, I'm getting off topic here. It reminds me of when I compare Prometheus to Cake Fart, which actually someone asked me why I did that. Said Cake Fart was better. I'd still rather watch Cake Fart than Prometheus. And I don't like watching Cake Fart. But I get a bizarre laugh out of Cake Fart. Prometheus I just think is bizarre and confusing. So I'm glad I cleared the air there. I should give my verdict on this. Oh good, it didn't clog. I didn't want water like seeping down all over the floor. So my verdict with all these sequels and Fantastic Four getting shit. Fantastic Four deserves the shit it gets. It does. No one wanted this movie. No one wanted this movie. I can't tell you how many... Like, who remembers the last Fantastic Four movie? I remember something was called Galactus. You know, it didn't look like any Galactus I'd seen. And it looked like a rain cloud. And then there was a Silver Surfer. And that's about all I remember from the second one. Granted, I didn't mind the first one of the last series. But still, no one gives a shit about Fantastic Four. They give a shit about Spider-Man, and they give a shit about X-Men, and I guess the Avengers. But they don't give a shit about Fantastic Four. It's like if you decide to make an Ant-Man movie. Oh wait, they have. God damn it. Or a Howard the Duck. Wait, George Lucas did that in the 80s. But, does Fantastic Four deserve more shit than Terminator and Jurassic World and Star Wars 7 and its fucking spin-offs are not going to get? No. Terminator Genesis by far looks the worst out of all of them. And Jurassic World with a close second. It's about on par with the lameness of this latest Fantastic Four trailer. Even Star Wars 7, well, we don't know anything about Star Wars 7 from the trailer because it didn't show fucking anything. But hey, It's Star Wars 7. So, yeah, whatever. I guess we're gonna get another fucking Fantastic Four reboot. And apparently Sue and Johnny Storm are not brother and sister. My guess. Oh well, who gives a shit? I don't. I don't give a shit. So, I won't see it. I probably won't see any of the other ones. Maybe Star Wars 7. Doubtful. I know I said in the first Can Rants I wouldn't go see that. But I might. Not opening, though. I'll go see it when it's closing. Because then I get to sit with the old people at my movie theater. And then they can complain about how they can't hear the fucking movie because they're deaf. So anyway, guys, have a nice day. I'm back with these Can Rants by popular demand. And we'll see more in the future. Have a nice day, everyone. And remember, Zardoz says the gun is good and the penis is evil. I thought I'd have to end it in a stupid note, so yeah. That is all.